Electric Cafe.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Electric Cafe. Today's album review is on Thieves Like Us, album from 2010 called Again and Again. This is day number 18 of my month-long focus of May on subgenres in rock music that are related to electronic music like shoegaze and industrial, EBM, synth pop, new wave, etc. This album, I first got a chance to hear Thieves Like Us back on my Pandora channel in 2010 or 2011. At the time, I was working in wireless, and droids were. I think the Droid phones came out in like 2008, and I got into wireless back in 2003, and I started with BlackBerry. Actually, I started with Trio. I had Trio 600, if you remember that. Trio 650, then I got into Blackberries with the Blackberry curves and stuff like that. And then around like 2007, 2008, I started getting into droids like THC and the early Motorola's. And then when the Samsung started getting really good, like the first, you know, I think maybe like the first 4G phone that was really good was like 2010, somewhere around when this album came out. So right around that time, I was starting to use Pandora and using it to fall asleep to, or occasionally I would find a new band, and it was sort of Pandora became like my pop radio. I would put on like New Order or something, or Peter Murphy or something like that, and it would play other stuff and place stuff like what I was looking for, and I was surprised at that time how many bands that I found that were into like similar to as the revival was happening in Coldwave and Darkwave and even synth pop and new wave around 2007 to 2012, that period, and even early vaporwave and synthwave. That time was really exciting with a lot of new bands that sounded like your New Order. They were inspired by your Depeche Mode or this or that. And one of those bands that I really gravitated to, that I really liked their sound, was Thieves Like Us. And obviously, with a name like Thieves Like Us, which was taken from the New Order song with the same name, you kind of know what to expect in some ways. This album gives you that. But if you like New Order of 1985 to like 1987, you will really like this album, I think. There's a lot of catchiness to it. There's a lot of now the album is a little bit inconsistent. There's some highs and there's some lows. I'll say that much. But it's worth it to check it out and play it, because you'll definitely, if you like New Order, you're gonna like some of these songs for sure. But yeah, this is the first time I'm actually getting a chance to actually review it. And again, I've had this album for 15 years, and and I liked it enough to buy the rest of their most of their rest of their albums of their discography. I have four of their five albums, and their last one being in 2017. So, from my understanding, they're not really around anymore. It's been about 9 years since they released an album, so I don't think they're making any more new music. But of the four albums that I have, I know this one is my favorite. That much I know, but I don't necessarily know what to score, because I score it because I do feel like it's a good album, but I know it's inconsistent. So I'm going to get a chance to play every song for you. If you haven't got a chance to hear this band, definitely stick around and listen to the songs. And I have a feeling that you'll really like it, especially if you like New Order. And yeah, you'll see my score above it, and then we'll come back and I'll give you my overall thoughts of Thieves Like Us. The album is called Again and Again from 2010.
Myself down, fantasy seeking me, one on dreams are breaking me, swam into Nights were heavy with despair. And dreams were breaking me. Shadows wish for more and more. Painted hearts on my front door. And my father now was asleep. Swam into the deepest sea. Never woke the home again. It's a day fades away. Final time I sit down. You see you seeking me. Final time I sit down. Still I never ever known love. Reveal you, steal you. Anyway, I'd like to know the real you. It's frightened, hide from ghosts. You stay so guarded, aren't you? Aren't you? Our photographic code is of you. I got love that is slow. Take a look now how I'm living. Play me, hold me up with all your glory. I've never seen that falling. Get me to the kiss. If I heard you snow, yeah, would you come with me? This annihilation is dragging me under. This annihilation is dragging me under. I've seen you falling. Get me to the kiss. If I hear you snow, yeah, won't you come with me? I've seen you falling. Get me to the kiss. If I hear you snow, yeah, would you come with me? Come away with me. from violence. Silence will save you from violence. Try me, I'm not lying. Carry through the blackest moments. See the sun that it rises always. Look, we're made from the same devices. Always wait behind the curtain. Oh, angel, now I can make this passage. Lay me down with heart and soul. Always wait behind the curtain. Make the times they go bright and golden. Silence will save you from violence. 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 Try me, I'm not lying. Try me, I'm not lying. When I was a child, I saw illusions alive. Take a trip with my mirror, and a dream comes to thought. Cross the ocean to infinity. How we're made, you're in the house where we met. All the time that fell away has been put back in place, and the seconds they come beautifully. Lover, 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 generate a new harmony. Rain is falling down in the streets near our house. We are joined and turned to dust in the far radiance, and is one we're singing endlessly. Lover, 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 stand by me and we'll be stronger. Lover, 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 dance with me and I'll recover. Lover, lover, lover. Rain is falling down in the house where we met. Take a trip with my mirror, and a dream comes to thought, and is one we're singing endlessly. When I was a child, I saw illusions a lot. Laid to rest at Solaris, and a dream comes to thought, and together we sing endlessly. Lover, 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 stand by me and we'll be stronger. Lover, 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 dance with me and I'll recover. Lover, 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 generate a new harmony. message came, I opened my eyes to an empty room where nobody smiles. People, they can be so cool. They treat you like dirt. It's the times, I suppose. One of us must choose. All of us will lose this revolution. Tell me I need a gun in my hand just to sleep at night. One of us must choose. All of us will lose this revolution. Tell me I need a gun in my hand just to sleep at night. Shy girl, when the clock runs down, I start to think back to a happy time when nothing was great. People, their tears turn to joy, enhanced by your love, enhanced by your love, enhanced by your love, enhanced by your love. One of us must Everybody's got one. was blown away when you left. I lose time with this dream that I follow. When you stood next to me, I felt love, I felt love. The stars that change direction for you hurt a lot, hurt a lot. Oh, sympathy, I understand. An empty heart, an empty hand. If I could break your heart of stone, would you be mine? Would you be mine? When you disappeared, I cried. Not my fault, but my loss. Still, I search the seven stars for your love. It's a dream that I follow. Forget me not. Hurts a lot, hurts a lot. The wind will blow you back to me in some time. Dazzle me with your smile. Oh, sympathy, I understand. An empty heart, an empty hand. If I could break your heart of stone, would you be mine? Would you be mine? No sympathy, you're much too cold. Now I feel bad, now I feel bad. If I could break your heart of stone, would you be mine? Would you be mine? Christina, could you just forget my love? Christina, could you just forget my name? Christina, could you just forget my love? Christina, could you just forget my name? Christina, could you just forget my love? Christina, could you just forget my name? Christina, could you just forget my love? Christina, was it just a fantasy?
All right, so there we got a chance to check out a sample of each track from Again and Again by Thieves Like Us, which came out in 2010. This was their third album, and the first album that I heard from the band. And you can see from my scores in the band, half the album is really good, half the album is not so good. I mean, I have two songs that are an 8, which are excellent, three songs that are very good, and then I have two songs that are 6, two songs that are 5, and even one down to a 4, which is on the low side of okay. It's just a mixed match album, and probably in some ways, in some respect, it's inevitably what probably may have ended their career because they can write some really catchy songs, but they have a hard time writing a full album. And I found that with almost each of their albums as I sort of collected them and listened to them. And this was what I thought was the best of them. It's the first one I've heard. It's the one I go back to the most. I'll definitely rate the other albums in the near future as well, but I wanted to start out with the album I first heard by them. And this has some really good tracks on it. It starts with Never Known Love, which love the guitar and the bass line, and just a really catchy song. And right away, you kind of get that New Order vibes of the middle 80s, like Love Vigilantes or True Faith. I mean, these songs are not to say that they're that good, but they give you kind of a vibe of that time and sort of not the iconic New Order songs, but sort of the second tier songs, you know, like like Shell Shock or something like that. Not the extreme best songs in New Order, but they give you that sound of it. They give you that vibe of it, and and they're really catchy songs. And I really like Never Known Love. To starts out the album with a great pace, and right away you're kind of like, wow, this could be a really good album. This could be a really good band if you've never heard them. And then he goes into the track Shyness, which I think is a good song. It's a little quirky, a little corny, but still a good song. Um, but then it just kind of throws you for a loop with track 3, which is my least favorite track on the album. It kills the tempo of the album. It's just a really odd addition to the album. It it almost sounds like some kind of like fairy tale a poem or something, or I don't even know how to describe it. It just doesn't work. It's okay. I mean, I'm not like hating it, but it just after the highs are so high on this album and the lows are so low, I just feel like it's kind of like a head shaker. And then it goes right into my probably tied for my favorite track with One Night with You. Just awesome. Epic ending. Love the fade out. Just a great track. I've got it 8 stars. And then I really like Silence. Unique. It's got a cool beat. Bass line with the whistling at the end. Really cool. And then again, it throws you in for a loop with Lover Lover, track number 6. It's very loud. And it's okay to pretty good, I suppose. I gave it a 5 out of 10 stars. And then it goes right into Love Saves, which is tied for my favorite song. It's a jam. It's smooth. Got a great beat. It's just and then it goes back down to a track that I rated a 5, and then a 6, and then it ends on a pretty good note. But I don't think it'll work for everybody, but I think it's a good track. It's a kind of a strange ending track in some ways. It's probably should have been put third instead of Mercy, and maybe Mercy left off the album and just go with 9 tracks. But this track would have definitely worked better in the middle of the album than at the end of the album in some ways. And just considering how bad track 3 is, Mercy, I just or not how bad it is. I mean, it's okay, but it's just there's such good highs on this album, and I really want to like this album, and I really go back to this album and some of these songs a lot. But it's definitely confirmed that it's a up and down album, and it's not necessarily an album that you can play all the way through and enjoy. Like, you're definitely repeating songs and then skipping other ones, repeating a song, skipping another one. It's the songs are tight though. Some of the better ones they're catchy, and then they almost die by the catchiness in some songs. But there's good bass lines, good vocals at times. It fits the song, like Love Saves, like his voice fits it. Other times, it sounds like New Order a little bit, but good harmonies, good melodies. And, again, it's something sort of like a secondary New Order album that you never heard before. But just the inconsistency and the production's a little raw. Some songs are a little loud, but just a very inconsistent album. And but overall, it's got 64, and yeah, I give it a 66 out of 100. It's right in the middle of good and very good. For the most part, it's right at 66. I think it's a good album. But if you killed that third track, Mercy, and maybe one of the other ones, and maybe add another song, you could have been looking at it like a band that was really kind of doing something and really making a very good album. Like, this had the bones for it. It just I don't know, man. It sounds like they ran out of material or had writer's block or something, or couldn't finish an album and finished it with some okay stuff. But yeah, the songs that I really like by this band, I really like by them. And I remember when this album came out, I was recommending it to a lot of people when it came out. I was like, "You like New Order? Here, check out this. Check out this CD. Check out Thieves Like Us." Just a really enjoyable songs. Really enjoyable album on the songs that you like. On the ones that you don't, you're just gonna pass them. You may not even give them much of a second chance if you don't like them. They don't necessarily have the staying power. The ones that you may not like, and you'll want to like them a little bit more. It's just you really like some and you really dislike other ones, or not even dislike. You just kind of indifferent, I suppose. But still, I think it's a good album for sure. And again, I wanted to like it even more, but I just can't. I just can't do it. But yeah, 66 out of 100 for Thieves Like Us. Their third album called Again and Again. Curious to know what you thought of the songs if you got a chance to check them. Have you heard this band and do you like any of the other albums? Curious if you do like New Order and you got a chance to hear the albums, what your thoughts were. But yeah, I appreciate your time and your support. My favorite three tracks were Love Saves, One Night with You, and Never Known Love. Those are my three favorite. All right, thanks so much, and we'll see you on day number 19.
Electric